Hey guys, Budfunk back here again for yet another hilarious / interesting life story. Alright, so first of all, I just wanted to let you guys know that I don't smoke pot. It's not something I do. It's not something I enjoy doing with my spare time. I have done it before, so I knew what it felt like. I just thought I'd give you guys that background knowledge before I start this story. So anyways, let's get on with the story. So it's the last day of grade 11, and I only have one final exam left, and that is my English 11 final exam. So anyways, I'm pacing around in the hallway waiting for my exam to start because it starts in about 20 minutes at this point. Now I actually see a group of people. Now they're not really my friends, but they're just kind of people I knew. And I noticed they're actually carrying like a big plate full of brownies. So the guy carrying the plate actually puts them in his locker and they proceed to leave the area. Now the thing is, I actually knew the combination to his locker because he asked me to get something out of his locker one time and he actually gave me his combination, and I don't know how, but for some reason I actually still remembered it, which was my downfall right there. You see, the problem was I was starving this day because I didn't eat breakfast that day because I was so nervous about my final exam. So I did something I knew I definitely shouldn't have done. I went into his locker and I grabbed myself a brownie and I wafted it down.
Swiper, no swiping!
Oh, man!
Now I do remember noticing a weird taste, like it was kind of like a dirt / plant mattery kind of flavor. But of course that didn't stop me. You see, I was really hungry, so I just wafted that thing right down. So about 15 minutes later, I'm heading down to the gymnasium to write my final exam. So I start off fine. First 20 minutes of the exam are going by like a breeze. Now boy, was I not ready for what was about to happen, because you see, at about the 30-minute mark, it hit me. You see guys, it hit me like a truck. I mean, like, it was all so sudden, no warning, no build up. It was just all at once, bam, high out of my mind. Now I just remember looking down at my paper and it was like, oh man, I was so confused, guys. I would look at the question and I would read out each word, but it just wouldn't, the words wouldn't add up. They wouldn't make sense. I couldn't form sentences out of the words. It was just too much for my brain to process. Now, of course, there's so many thoughts going through my mind right now. Like, what's going on with me? Am I going crazy? Am I becoming psychotic? What the hell's going on? Right? And then I remembered, shit, it might have been that brownie that I took. Now I start having a fucking panic attack. I'm sitting there in the middle of a final exam knowing that I just basically ingested a weed brownie. Now, of course, the paranoia starts kicking in. I start thinking everybody knows, oh no, everybody knows I'm high, right? Thinking things like, shit, I'm gonna get arrested, I'm gonna go to jail, I'm gonna get expelled.
Why am I running? Oh God, I'm talking to myself. That's a side effect of the marijuana poisoning.
So thoughts like this just go on and on for, I would say, about 30 minutes. I'm getting no work done. Like, I am really far behind on my exam. Probably everybody is, halfway through, and I barely even started on mine. So anyways, guys, eventually this thought comes to my mind. Now this thought was a sudden realization of just how funny the whole situation was. Now I know this is not any laughing matter. It's definitely not something I should be laughing at, nor is it funny. However, for some reason, I don't know why, I just found it fucking hilarious that I was at my final exam high out of my mind. At first I was just smirking and was keeping my thoughts to myself, but I couldn't help it. It was just so funny. I started laughing out loud in the middle of a final exam where it's dead silence. Eventually, a few people just started looking at me, wondering what the hell is wrong with this guy? What is he laughing at? What is so goddamn funny about a final exam? And then this is where it gets bad. You see, I started now laughing not because of what I was originally laughing at, but because I thought it was funny that I was making a fool of myself. I thought it was hilarious that people were looking at me and laughing. Like, it just seemed so funny. And the more I laughed, the funnier it got. Because the more I laughed, the more of a fool I made of myself. And the more of a fool I made of myself, the funnier it was. Now, of course, this brought up concerns from teachers. And they came over to check out what I was actually laughing at. I just remember the teacher walking up to me and saying, "Hey, what are you laughing at?" And I look him straight in the eyes. I just said, oh, nothing, it's just a funny joke. And then I started laughing even harder because I realized what a fool I made of myself to the teacher. And I realized that my eyes are probably red from eating that brownie. And I'm just thinking, oh man, he's probably looking at my eyes and thinking, holy shit, this guy's baked. And that thought goes through my mind and makes it more funny. And I just start bursting out laughing. Like, I am actually in tears at this point, guys. Now, even though I'm laughing and thinking it's hilarious, what's also going in the back of my mind is, shit, I am fucked. He's gonna say, you're on something, and he's gonna pull me out of the room, and they're gonna drug test me, and then I'm gonna be fucked. Now, the teacher, he must have not noticed, because you see, he just told me to get back to work and stop laughing. Like, holy shit, guys, did I ever dodge a bullet there? So finally, I'm able to somewhat focus on my work. I'm getting through the questions somehow. I don't know how, but I was actually able to get through the questions. Maybe it wasn't as powerful as it was before. I don't know. But either way, I approach the final essay part. Now, this essay had to be 5 paragraphs long. Now, all of a sudden, I'm feeling extremely inspirational. I'm feeling like smarter than I've ever felt before. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally got this essay, right? I'm like writing, I'm flying through. I'm like, holy shit, I am gonna ace this thing. Writing, you know, just like writing so fast. All these awesome ideas are coming to my head for my essay, and I'm just owning it up, like destroying the essay, right? And then the final part comes on writing up my final word, and I'm like, yeah, done, motherfuckers. You know, finish it up with a period. I'm like, holy shit, I think I aced that, you know? I go and hand it in. So I get my exam back a few weeks later, you know, just thinking that I completely nailed it. Boy, was I wrong. I'm sitting there going over my essay, you know, and I'm noticing there's sentences missing. Sentences missing mid-paragraph. You see, guys, I actually did have a great essay going. The only problem was I didn't write it all down. I would, you know, process it in my mind, but then I wouldn't write it down. Half of it was in my mind, but the other half of it was on paper. So when you look at it just on paper, half of it doesn't even make sense. So I actually ended up failing the whole, not the whole final exam, but the whole essay. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the life story, if it made you laugh, or if you were entertained, remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you want to be really awesome, join the notification squad by turning notifications on. To do that, go to the channel settings by clicking on the little gear symbol and turn notifications on. Not only will you have a better chance at being able to see my videos when they first come out and being possibly the first commenter, you'll also be helping my channel grow a lot just by a few people actually doing that. It'll actually help my channel grow a lot. So if you want to be really awesome, that would be really awesome if you could do that. So anyways, until my next life story video, peace out.